champions! Champions of Europe finally! History made in Istanbul! The treble complete!
History makers! For the first time ever, an English club have won 4 titles in a row!
Good afternoon, Blues. How are we doing? Are we looking forward to a bit of Premier League football? I am. I'm very much hoping we win this game because I think we can and I think we will. I think we'll bag this one because the feeling around the club is very, very good. Considering the number of players that we're targeting, the 9.5-year deal we've offered Erling Haaland, which is just absolutely sensational news for Manchester City fans. I know a lot of people are now reading into that. We're going to talk about that in the stream as to what it actually means. And are we quashing the rumours that this is just some sort of stepping stone football club towards Real Madrid? You know? Some people still believe that this is just a stepping stone football club. And it's just a matter of time. All we're trying to do is get a bigger fee from Real Madrid. What, in 2034? In 9 years, is that the plan? Or when the release clause kicks in? We'll talk about it later. But, I mean, yeah, I think we should win this game. I really do believe that. I hope everyone is doing well. Most importantly, I hope you're all looking after yourselves. I'm not doing great, to be honest. I've got a really dicky belly. If you don't know what dicky belly means, it means you've got a bit of a dodgy stomach. You know, I feel like I've got food poisoning or something. I don't know what it is. And I was like, whoa, I'm not feeling this today. I am not feeling it. Dodgy Chinese, I think I might put it down to. A dodgy Chinese food, that is. Food. Not to go too wrong with this stream early on. But, I mean, yeah, I think we should bag this 3 points today. Gundogan's in, which I'll talk about the team in a minute, in fact. Let's do it now, actually, because I'm a bit blagged by the team news. I'm not going to lie. Considering the Gundogan came on and Nunes as well is playing. Gundogan came on against whoever it was we played. My memory, mate. I'm all over the place today. But yeah, when he came on in the previous game, coming on for Kovacic at Brentford, that was it. Why did that happen? And for him to get a start today is a bit baffling for me. It is. But we've got no defenders on the bench either. So what are we going to do if we lose one of these defenders? Where's Nathan Ake as well? You might be able to educate me in the chat as to where he is. But before I get going, I just want to give a shout out to Josh, who's dropped a nice early super chat. Very kind of you, Josh. Appreciate the support nice and early. Great afternoon watching United lose in a bad way. LOL. Erling with a 9-year contract. What a time to be City. Honestly, we are making a statement basically saying we have won the court case up the Blues. That's the whole factor as well, isn't it? As well, it's not just the whole Real Madrid thing, is it? It's the fact that what it means towards the charges and everything that's associated with that. Yeah, buzzing, mate. Absolutely buzzing about the news. I cannot lie. But let's say hi to everyone before we move on. Murlag was in here nice and early. How you doing, mate? Nice to be the first one here. You beat Church to it, mate. And you've gone for a 3-1 victory. Phil's in nice and early. Thanks for the message you sent me. I only read it about an hour before I went live, mate, in the members-only post that I posted the other day. And I appreciate what you said, mate. Very, very kind of you. Very kind indeed. Clicked by clicks. Happy birthday, Pap. Indeed. Yep. Phil just said that as well, of course. Do you think Cambiasso for 65 to 80 million is a good transfer? If it's 65, yes. 80 is getting a bit pricey. But 65, yeah, I'd be pleased with that. I'd be pretty pleased with that. I mean, he's ripping it up in Serie A at the minute, isn't he? He really is. Obviously, a reaction to the Kyle Walker news as well. I had a planned video I was going to do yesterday, in fact, about Kyle Walker. A whole subject on him, which I'll save for another day now because I've just not been able to focus on the channel for the last few days, in fact. For various reasons, which I'll get onto another time. But we'll settle eventually and we will start making a bit more regular content. I've been saying that for some time, to be honest, and it's just a case of moving out. I need to move house. That's what I need to do. James, Haaland hat-trick. And if he does, by the way... James, 5-1 to City has gone for as well. If he does bag a hat-trick today, that would make him the second player in Premier League history to get hat-tricks home and away against the same opposition in the same season. The other player was Adebayor. When I was doing my research as well, It didn't make it clear who Adebayor was playing for, but I'm pretty sure it was for Arsenal rather than City. But you never know. It could have been Burnley, because I remember Adebayor scoring against Burnley for City, a hat-trick against Burnley. I remember one game years ago when Adebayor and Tevez were up front. Do you remember that black kit with the gold little stripes on the shoulders? And we were like 5-0 up at half-time. I'm pretty sure Adebayor got a hat-trick in that game, if memory serves me. We used to batter Burnley, didn't we? But anyway, hat-trick today would be very good. Would be very good indeed. Church, what have you gone for? Oh, 6-0. 6-0. You've gone for. You surprised me, Church, as always. You're coming in with the regular 6-0, mate. Today probably won't be the day, but the last time, mate, you weren't here for the Salford game either, were you? So, I mean, you were at the beginning, but then when the actual scoreline became 6-0, you were nowhere to be seen, mate. So, I was getting a bit giddy for you, but the game ended up ruining your prediction with a 8-0. Travis, I appreciate your want for previews, mate, but like I said, it's just circumstances, personal circumstances right now. Once I'm settled, mate, once I've got a new home, there's Ed Sheeran, Ipswich fan. Once I find a new home, mate, I'll be settled and I'll be able to make more focused content without, because I'm in and out of the house right now, as well as juggling other things that boring stuff. Anyway, Icekim, good to see you've gone 3-2 City and a Doku winner as well. Melvin, good to see you as well. Adriano, Lucian, I hope you get better, mate, because you've got diagnosed with COVID. Hope you feel better soon, mate. Gent, who is over it, always good to see you, mate. Hyperholic as well, also going for a Haaland hat-trick. Christine, good to see you. Restless Native, 115 problems, winning the Prem 4 times back-to-back isn't one. In Pep we trust. Feed the goat. Feed the goat indeed, mate. Yes, mate. Let's squeeze a bit of Feed the Goat in there. Bit of a random player to talk about, but Goat was one of my favourites, mate. One of my favourite all-time City players. Beyond the Cosmos, good to see you as well, mate. Floris and Captain Kringles as well. Good to see you. Wake up, Jonny. I'm awake, mate. I am awake. Good to see you. Anyway, I'll have to crack on with, and I'll speak to you guys as much as I can throughout the stream, no doubt. But yeah, team news. I haven't got it on my notes in front of me because I'm all over the place. Like I said, I'm feeling dodgy today. But yeah, Edison in net. Why? Again, why? What's this chopping and changing nature that we've done? Brighton used to do it with their goalkeepers a year ago. Depending on the circumstance, depending on the team they're going up against, Brighton would field a different goalkeeper. Is he expecting to play more with the feet? I don't want people to read too much into that conversation that Pep had. A conversation's putting it lightly. That berated conversation that he had in front of, after the game against Brentford, where Pep comes out and gets in the face of Ortega, you know. And then the next game he's now not playing. I think people might read into that, you know, and make a mountain out of a molehill, probably, because I don't think there's much to read in it. I think Ortega will play again this season. It's not a case of he's now dropped. I'm just confused as to why Edison's been picked in this game, because maybe he expects the ball to be, maybe he expects a press from Ipswich. Maybe that's what he's expecting, a high press, which would be surprising for Ipswich to come out and press City aggressively. I doubt that, to be honest. I think they'll be sitting deep, and I think the formation that Ipswich look like they're going with is, again, an indication that I don't think they will be going for the press. I think they've got 5 at the back today, with 2 defensive midfielders in front of them. So they've only got 3 players who are considered attacking-minded players in the starting 11 today. So I can't see them going for a high press, which is, again, surprising. But with Liam Delap's lethal finishing, I would have thought the guy knows where the back of the net is. It would be a good game to field Ortega. But here we are. Edison's in the sticks. And I like Edison, don't get me wrong. I just feel like Ortega's just... He swung the pendulum towards him in terms of who should be the number 1 for me. I think he should be the number 1 goalkeeper now. But again, it's not like, you know, it's 60-40. It's not like a landslide in favour of Ortega. But I do think Edison's probably deserves to be on the bench more often than not now, considering how well Ortega's been. Shot stopping is the key. But anyway, game's about to get underway. We've got Nunes playing as well. Is he going to be right back, or is he going to be tucking it in inside alongside Kovacic, which pushes... So with the... It's never there, is it? But with the team that I have gone with on the graphic, I've gone with 4 at the back, with 2 in front of them, with Gundogan and Kovacic. I think Gundogan should be pushing forward, Nunes therefore inverting and getting into defensive midfield alongside Kovacic. And therefore you have a back 3 of Akanji, Diaz and Gvardiol. So as you can see there in the system, there's only one behind Haaland. I would like to see Gundogan push forward to be behind Haaland instead, and Núñez take the place of Gundogan in defensive midfield, because I don't think Gundogan can do that job. He might have a better day today, in all fairness, but he's got the job of being a number 8, because if Kovacic is going to sit, that might protect Gundogan a little bit more and allow Gundogan to push and drop depending on the circumstances. And with Foden on the right, you could see Núñez staying as a right back and going on the overlap of Phil Foden instead, and Phil Foden tucking inside and being the man behind Erling Haaland alongside Kevin De Bruyne, with Núñez going up and down that right wing as a right back. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what Núñez does today. I think that's the key from this starting 11. But yeah, to complete it as well, you've got Doku, Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden with the big man, new 9-year contract, Erling Haaland up top, which I'm excited to see. See you at half-time, Timmy. Have a good one, mate. Good to see you, Scott, as well. Make sure everyone's hitting that like button as well. We've got nearly over 600 watching and 58 likes. We can definitely do better than that. I reckon we can do better than that. We definitely can. Jeff, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Good to see you, Jeff. How you doing? Were you rocking the violin in church today, Jeff? That's the main thing everyone wants to know. Were you giving it a bit of the old in church? That's what I want to see today. I want to know what you were rocking in church today, because I remembered what you told me, and it excites me. The thought of Jeff Spruance blasting violin strings with the echo of a church, mate. It gives me goosebumps. Doku first goal, Núñez second. It's about time you pulled one out, Jeff. Pulled one out of the bag today for a prediction. I hope you do it, mate. Church, you're a legend, mate. You're an absolute legend, gifting 5 memberships this early into the stream. Church, mate, you're an absolute legend. I love you. Thank you very much, mate. Top man, Church. And you've always quietly supported me behind the scenes. And you've gone on to X. I remember, mate. I don't forget these things. You used to promote me quite a lot on X, which is something I should be doing myself, to be honest. But I don't, and I will be doing soon. I will be getting more active as soon as possible, I promise you. I keep saying it. And I don't want to be one of those guys who speaks but doesn't deliver. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a waste of time if you're just going to use your words but not live up to the words that you... I want to be a man of my word on this channel. I keep saying it, and I'm not doing it. So I promise you, I will start upping my game in terms of general social media as well as this channel, improving the amount of content. Like Travis says, am I not doing previews anymore? I am, mate. I will be doing. It's just a case of time. Oh, you're not doing it at church? You're just practicing, right? But the plan is to go to church, mate, isn't it? And there's lots of mentioning of church, like actual church, and then church of the poisoned mind as well today. So it's a very church-based stream so far. I don't know, Danvin. I don't know. I thought that straight away. I thought, first of all, Savinho had a great game at the Etihad. That reminds me of Mr. Bean, that does. Always. Mr. Bean. You know, if you know Mr. Bean, there's an episode where he's singing the song Hallelujah, but he doesn't know the words, apart from the word Hallelujah. It's so good. And it's just like... And then when it's time to sing Hallelujah, he goes, Hallelujah! And he just absolutely sings that one word incredibly loud. Oh, Mr. Bean. Love it. But yeah, no Savinho's a mad one, that, isn't it? I really thought we would see him today. And at the minute, it seems like Doku or Savinho. The last few games, it's been one or the other, not both. Which is, yeah. I mean, Phil Foden deserves his spot in the starting 11, considering his performance against Brentford, in particular in that second half. We've got to watch out for Hutchinson, who I'm guessing is coming down that right-hand side. If you remember the first 6 minutes at the Etihad against Ipswich, it was Hutchinson that was heavily involved in their first goal when Ipswich went 1-0 up on the counter-attack, coming inside with the ball into Smodix, wasn't it, eventually? Big up to Blue Moon. Come on, City, with the early super chat from Blue Moon, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Game's about to get underway, and it's Gundo who's going to kick us off today. Manchester City away at Portman Road, Ipswich, with a chance to go fourth, which is something I wanted to mention earlier than I just did. 100% 3-2-1, by the way. Thank you very much for reminding me. Yeah, 2 legends in the span of a week passing away. Very, very sad times. for both Manchester clubs, in fairness, because of course it is a sad day for Manchester United as well when Dennis Law passed away the other day. Very sad indeed. Lots of connections to Manchester City, of course. 2 spells at Manchester City, I believe, and one with, there was a goal. He spent most of his time at United. That was the majority of his career was a Manchester United player, but he eventually moved to Manchester City towards the end of his career on a free. And in one game, well, there was a game where he backheeled it into the back of Manchester United's net, and it didn't directly relegate United, but it all but did relegate United. It pretty much ensured they were relegated. So getting relegated by one of their own legends at the time was something for Manchester City fans to enjoy. But I mean, there's absolutely nothing to enjoy about the passing of the man himself because, it's very sad indeed. But yeah. Stephen, thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate that, mate. Hello from Taipei. If that's how you pronounce it, mate, I'm sorry if I've got that wrong. Taipei, I presume that's how you pronounce it. Taipei City Blues represent Taiwan's official Man City supporters group. MCFC, okay, no way. Taiwan's official Man City supporters group in the chat. Big up to you, Stephen. Hope you're having a wonderful life over there in Taiwan. And I hope the club support you the way you support them. I hope you get some support off the club. You'll have to let us know, mate, because I saw that clip the other day from the club. About supporters clubs and how many we've got and the introduction of making more supporters clubs around the world. And it's good to see we've got so much representation geographically across the world now. It's amazing. It really is. Church, come on, City, give Pep a happy birthday. Church, mate, your donations, mate, you're through the roof. Thank you very much, Church. Legend, mate, absolute legend. And Peer BPM with a super chat as well. Thank you very much. I'm calling a Haaland hat-trick today. Like I said, by the way, that would be the second player in Premier League history to do it if he does it, because he's already got one against Ipswich at the Etihad. But it's a corner ball to Ipswich. Let's start talking about the game now, because we are got some trouble here. Defending to do. Oh, it's over the bar. Just about. Ruben Diaz. Or was it Akanji? A real opportunity for Ipswich there. The ball was bent into the box. There, and it was Ruben Diaz threw himself at that ball, mate. That's what we've been missing. That's what we've been missing so much. Really. I say good to see you as well, mate. And you, Ryan. How you doing? Yeah. Massive love to Taiwan for tuning in as well. But yeah, another corner to defend. Ruben Diaz, unbelievable defending, throwing his body in front of that. Here it comes. Near ball, and it's cleared at the near post, by Kevin De Bruyne. But yeah, that warrior vibes that you get from Ruben Diaz. We haven't really got many warriors in the team, have we? Long ball, deep cross coming in again. Edison collects it. Well done. Great goalkeeping by Edison. Really strong, commanding goalkeeping there by Edison. But Kushinov is another warrior that we are adding to the ranks of Manchester City. Wombat Yoshi, how you doing, mate? My son would be extremely happy to know that Yoshi has sent me a super chat. He would be absolutely over the moon. How do I think Marmouche will impact the team? Positively, is my belief. Positively. I can't see any other outcome. I mean, it would have to be a very big decline for someone to get the numbers that he's getting. Oh, even though it's the Bundesliga, the numbers that he's getting is incredible. It's almost like Haaland numbers, but throwing it half of them being assists, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Because Haaland was just goals, with like the odd assist here and there. Marmouche is getting those sort of figures. In terms of goal involvements, Haaland was like 1 a game. Marmouche's goal involvements, 1 a game. So it's almost a banker. If you're going off that same logic that Haaland was a banker, and there was only one person who doubted him, and he's been laughed at ever since. But yeah, I felt like Haaland was a banker. I feel like Marmouche, it might not be as much of a banker, but I do feel like it's almost a certainty. Ball to the byline for Nunes to chase. He's not going to keep it in, though. Good run by Nunes there. But a little bit early nerves from Nunes, a little bit earlier than that. I didn't mention that, by the way, because there was a header. For the reason why we faced that corner was a very simple cross that came in. Nunes needed to just nod it back to Edison, but he gets it wrong. 50p head, off his head. out for a corner, but we've dealt with that corner. But that was a good run from Nunes. So it looks like he's playing right back, by the way, today. In a back four almost, and he's going to be going up and down that right wing on the overlap with Phil Foden tucking inside. We just saw that exact move take place with Phil Foden tucking inside. He actually wanted it off De Bruyne there, but didn't get it. But yeah, I mean, you're hoping it's going to be a difficult game. This, it really is, because I mean, Ipswich at home, Portman Road. They did. Who did they play the other day? It was Brighton, wasn't it? They lost 2-0 to Brighton, their most recent home game in the Premier League. Here's Doku. And yeah, that was a Brighton side that had no wins in 9. So that was their first win in... Sorry, that was no wins in 8 before that. So that was their first win in 9 games against Ipswich. So, but then again, Brighton, now they've got 2 back-to-back wins. Speaking of Brighton... A rather enjoyable victory for Brighton today, who've punished Manchester United. I mean, I saw that coming a mile away, to be honest, that result, because the way they played against Southampton, they were atrocious against Southampton, having watched the game back now. They were poor, United, poor. They got away with murder. Amad Diallo coming on and bagging a hat-trick for United. There you go, Doku. He's giving it away. But, yeah, that was against bottom of the league Southampton. Now you're going up against Brighton, another team from the South Coast, much different. It's so much more competitive game, and they got found out. They got found out today. But City with an opportunity to go 4th, albeit maybe just for 24 hours, because tomorrow night Chelsea face Wolves. But yeah, they're the if we can we have to win by more than 3 goals actually to go 4th as well. So it does come down to goal difference today. We would go ahead of Newcastle, same points. If we win 3-0, we go ahead on goal difference by +1. But here come Ipswich, coming forward with it. He's ghosted past Cavadio. We're in trouble here. We're in big trouble here. Delap, he's on the right-hand side, but he's starting to come inside. He's got Ruben Diaz to beat. It's Delap. He's done him. He's spun him. And he's whipped it. And Kovacic clears it. Rebound's not cleared. Kajust. Ball across. Nunes. And Gundogan clears it. Oh, it's getting a bit ropey at the back, but City can break now. Now it's Manchester City's turn. Haaland. He's got De Bruyne on the left-hand side of him. Ipswich have got numbers back, though. Oh, and De Bruyne tried to thread the eye of the needle. That was an incredibly difficult ball, that, for Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, if it came off, Haaland was in one-on-one. But 2 counter-attacks there from both sides, which was a little bit... Ipswich looked better, to be honest, because they had 4 back. By the time we had 2 going forward, they got 4 back, so... The legs in this side, you look at the average age of that midfield, Gundogan, Kovacic, De Bruyne, you're not going to see much mobility in that midfield from Manchester City today. I doubt it. I doubt it very much. But you do get a lot of technicality in that midfield. That's what you do get. And experience, you can put your positive spin on it. Micah, thanks very much for the super chat. Hello. Been a while now. No new players today. Not yet, mate. We've got nothing. That's the thing. It feels like we've signed them already with so many... confirmations of players. It feels like we already have, But, I mean, we technically have. I mean, apparently, Kushinov's already been training today. He's already been in training. But we haven't even announced him. Apparently, that's going to be on Monday. Vita Hayes. It's Hayes, by the way. Vita Hayes, not Rice. It's pronounced with an H. So, yeah, I think those 2 will be the next announcements, followed by Omar Mamouche, and we saw him again. It's another one of those transfers that's not going to be surprising when it's announced, but still, we want it. We want to see that confirmation from the club itself, don't we? And in a matter of a week, I think we'll be talking about 3 new players. Also considering Douglas Luiz today. That was news broke this morning from David Ornstein that City are considering Douglas Luiz. I'm not sure how that's quite breaking news, because, I mean, we're considering him. What does that mean? We're in the middle of January. Why are we considering him in the middle of January? But here's Kovacic. He just smashed it against an Ipswich player, but he gets it straight back. Straight back. Journey to 100k. Thank you very much for the kind donation, mate. Really appreciate that. Very kind of you. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you. Yeah. So, Douglas Luiz, I would take him in a heartbeat, considering what we need. Do you know what? I've been not really commentating on the game that much so far, but it's been sloppy from City in midfield. Really sloppy so far, but here's a chance to improve. No. Kovacic nearly boots it out for a goal kick, but Doku prevents that from happening and gets it out for a throw into Ipswich instead. But it's been sloppy from City 2 or 3 times. Little balls been threaded, looking to be thread through. I've just been smacked straight into Ipswich players. So you've got a very congested Ipswich. I wouldn't call it even a low block, but it's certainly a tight block from Ipswich today with 3 centre-backs plus the wing-backs today, 5 at the back plus 2 defensive midfielders in front of the back 5. So going through the middle is going to be really difficult for City today, but here we go. This is better. Go on. Foden's... Oh, flag's gone up. Offside. Offside, never mind. I know, I was looking forward to singing Rice, Rice, baby, but it's got to be Heist. Heist, baby. But Beast Bro, thank you very much. Of course I'm reading your comments, mate. I am reading your comments. I read everyone. I try to read everyone's, mate. I just can't. And you, Nick too. Oh, the screen's gone black. What's gone on? It's definitely not a me problem. It's a Sky problem. There we go, it's back. Yeah, appreciate that. Adriano, thank you very much. Make sure you're hitting that like button, everybody. Massively helps the channel. We've got over 800 watching. We've got 140 likes. Come on, people. Let's help me out. Help me out. Come on, people. I try my best to speak to all of you. I really do. But, yeah. Devious, mate. How you doing? Why am I in the mud? We absolutely are, Beast. I'm so confident of that. I really am. Elio. Good to see you. How you doing, mate? That's my little face there. As if there wasn't enough crap on the screen already, you've added 4 more of them. Jeff's had enough. Jeff's had enough. How you doing, Adrian? Other teams are keen on Louise and City only want a loan deal. That's true, mate. 6 months might not be enough. Apparently that's where the deal's breaking down. Shut up, D. How you doing, mate? And Glacius as well. How you doing? Izan, how you doing? Jack as well. Good to see you. Is it still a black screen in the States as well? Really? We had a black screen here. It was only lasted for like a couple of seconds though. A little bit of a malfunction at the stadium, no doubt. Portman Road with some dodgy cables. Need to sort that out, Portman Road. Bloody Ipswich. That'd be them tractor boys. You see? We're in the tractor country land now. Tractor boys. That's it, mate. He's probably hooked it up to some giant speaker for a concert and he's fucked it for everybody. Black screen of TikTok. Is it? I heard it quickly on the radio. Has it been banned officially in America now? You just can't go on TikTok. What happens when you go on TikTok now in America? Is it just dead? I don't really go on it here, to be honest. But even though I've got 45,000 followers on TikTok, I don't even use it, which is a bit daft, isn't it? But here we are. I've made like 12 videos on TikTok, but is that what it says? Just unlucky pal. It's just got a picture of Donald Trump going like that when you go onto TikTok. Oh, that's funny. I bet that's buggered a lot of people, that has. You know, I bet there's a lot of people out there who use it as like probably a main source of income. But City have... there was a moment a minute ago I wanted to reference as well. Gundogan, Ruben Diaz had the ball and Gundogan was just doing that to Ruben Diaz because it has been very bitty, this game so far. Like, there's very little spells of possession from either side. It's not like Ipswich are knocking it about. Here you go. Here we go. Haaland's in. 1-on-1. Erling Haaland. And he's fucked it. He's got to finish that. Walton with the save. He's got to finish that. He just didn't get it out of his feet. Great ball from Kovacic. Slides Erling Haaland in. Lovely pass. Terrible defending in all honesty. A massive pocket of space. Haaland, that second touch kills him. It's that second touch. If you watch it, first touch is okay. Second one needs to come out. He needs to push it an extra yard in front of him and then he can get onto it. Do you know what I mean? Then he had to take an extra third touch And by then the chance is gone and the goalkeeper's out. But Doku's in business it. Saved by Walton. Quick corner taken. Doku just thought, I'm going for this myself. And he did. But yeah, saved by Walton. But earlier than that, Walton keeps Ipswich in the game at 0-0. Haaland does get the shot away eventually. And it's he looks for a little bit of a dinked effort. Trying to lob it over Walton. But I mean, yeah, you got to be burying that. I mean, we could be already talking about the Erling Haaland hat-trick that so many of you guys in the chat have predicted. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, but I mean, following the 9.5-year contract, Gundogan, what an interception from Gundogan into Kevin De Bruyne, lays it off for Haaland, Kovacic over the bar. Great play from Gundogan though, real wasted opportunity from City though. I mean, Gundogan plays the ball into Kevin De Bruyne. I think he realised that's brilliant interception from Gundogan, really good, well read from Ilkay Gundogan. De Bruyne is fed by Gundogan after Gundogan's great interception. De Bruyne realises quickly that I'm not going to get a shot away here, so I'm just going to quickly try and lay it off for Haaland. But Haaland was being closed down as well. The ball broke to Kovacic more than anything. On the edge of the area, side foot, whips it over the bar. AJ, thanks for the super chat. Mate, really appreciate it. With Haaland signing on for 9 years, how do you see Omar fitting in? Great signing, but will he be happy to ride the bench? He ain't riding the bench, mate. He's going to be behind Erling Haaland. I don't think it's going to be a case when I don't think we're looking at another Alvarez situation. You know, I think he's got more versatility to his game than Alvarez has, and I think that would be give him a better chance of getting into the starting 11. I think he would play a lot more with Haaland compared to what we saw with Alvarez and Haaland, which was a rare combination. It happened, and we saw it a fair few times. I just think it would be quite common to see. But here's Haaland over to Foden, into the penalty area. Right foot Foden, and it's ricocheted again. It's a good bit of defending in all honesty. Foden couldn't get his shot away. But City have turned up the tempo a little bit. Much better from City in the last 5 minutes. A lot more activity, a little bit more of a zest about Manchester City. And Haaland's heavily involved. He's been at the heart of everything that's been good from Manchester City so far, with a chance, and it could have been an assist there as well. Just needs to get a little bit more refinement to his game, and we could be looking at 1, maybe even 2-0 by this point, to be honest. But Peer BPM, thank you very much. How about the 9.59 years equals 12 months, which times 12 months times 12, sorry, which equals 115 months. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. How it's all, it has to be purposeful, that. I mean, who worked that out? Do you know what I mean? Who sat there and thought, I'm going to work out how many months that is? Why did that pop into anyone's mind to think I'm going to calculate the amount of months that is? Whoever it is a comedic genius, and thank you very much for working that out. But why? What came into your mind to work that out? Like, I know, I'm going to calculate 9 years, 9.59 years of months. Madness. Vasco's not happy. Diabolical missed chances galore this season. There's been a few big ones, hasn't there? There has been a few big ones, but I mean, he's the best striker in the world, isn't he? So, I mean, you give him another one of them, I'm pretty sure it'll go into the back of the net. But before that happens, Ipswich have got an opportunity. Whipped in, Edison collects. A little bit too close to Edison there, who rolls it straight out to Kovacic, who spins. The game's become quite open, and this is really good for City so far. Ipswich have really opened themselves up, which is surprising. Doku across, and it's cleared by O'Shea. A bit fortunately as well, could have gone anywhere. That clips his heel and goes out for a corner ball to Manchester City. But yeah, I like the openness of this game so far, because it's suited us, because we've probably had about 4 or 5 attacks to Ipswich's 1 attack in the last 5 or 10 minutes, and we've started to look the better side out of the 2. But you know, me and jinxes and all that. Got an Ipswich fan in the chat. How you doing, mate? De Bruyne out to Kovacic. Foden. Long right. Oh, it's into... Oh, Gundogan, he was onside as well. He almost tried to control... Well, not almost, he did. He did try to control Foden's shot. That was an effort, not a pass from Phil Foden. But could have ended up being a good pass in the end, because Gundogan is onside as well. If he brings that under control on the half turn, left foot strike, 1-0 Manchester City, that would have been. But he couldn't quite bring it under control, because, like I said, it was a shot that he was trying to control, just a bit too much pace on it. But from a player of Gundogan's technical ability, you'd expect him to actually bring that under control and make it 1-0. But we are starting to look the better side, and I'll be disappointed if we haven't scored by the half an hour mark. Vic's gone 2-0. I hope you're right, Devious, mate. I hope you're right. I don't think you're going to see many of them, to be honest, this season. I think they're going to be bit part players for this season. I don't think you're going to see too much of them. Not like back-to-back games. I think they'll come on here and there. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see that much of them because they're so young, mate. A 19-year-old and an 18-year-old. I just can't see them playing straight away. You know, I can see them playing small amounts, just slowly and surely, and I think they'll be really thrown in the FIFA Club World Cup in the summer. That's when I think you'll start seeing them start the games more often. I think they'll play all the games in the FIFA Club World Cup as preparation in the pre-season, and then I think next season we'll start to see the new shape of Manchester City. And next season, mate, it's so exciting, so exciting. Like if you we've already started the work now, haven't we? With the number of players that we're signing now, we're alleviating a lot of the work that needs to happen next summer, because we needed to sign about 6 players, I'd say. 6, maybe even 7 players, because we needed another defensive midfielder. We obviously needed a couple of defenders. We needed a central midfielder, attacking midfielder. We needed potentially a little bit more cover for as on the wide players, or at least versatile players that can go out wide. We needed a cover for Haaland, which is Mamouche effectively, but De Bruyne is going to. He nearly looking. That's a few times now. Kevin De Bruyne has just not quite got his radar working at the minute, because a couple of passing opportunities there for Kevin De Bruyne have gone astray and gone straight to an Ipswich player. And that one was a bit easier. There's others that he's been trying to thread the eye of a needle, really difficult passes that he's tried prior to that one. But that one was easier. Foden had a large amount of space to run into, but Liam Delap is just bursting past Nunes. But Nunes says no, and he fouls him. He fouls him as well. Mate, I'd love it. It does feel like maybe Pep might stay a bit longer. Because I had, once that 2 years was signed, I thought, well, that will be it, you know. And obviously his off-the-field personal circumstances for Pep Guardiola have become known. Everyone's aware of it now, that he's split up with his missus. Which is a shame, but it feels like he's chosen Manchester City over his missus. And if that's not going to win over the City fans, I don't know what is. Do you know what I mean? The man has got a new wife, and she's called Manchester City. Amazing. Amazing. And I hope he's happy. I hope he's happy with his decision. And I'm sure he will be. And that, plus the fact that Haaland signed the contract that he's signing, makes me think that maybe Pep could extend beyond the 2 years. You just never know. But it's a free kick to Ipswich in a dangerous area. Hutchinson on the edge of the area. Oh, fucking hell. Just over the bar. Looked like it took a deflection. Ipswich claiming a corner, and I think they're going to get one as well. But Kovacic read it. Well done, Kovacic, because he actually put Hutchinson off there. But he had to come out of his shape there. But there was no one else alert to the danger other than Kovacic there, because that ball was cut back. Rather than being crossed into the box, he cut it back to the edge of the area, and Hutchinson whips it with his left foot over the bar. And happy birthday, Pep, by the way, as well, because it's his B-day. Corner ball, near post, saved by Edison. He's got to bury that. He's got to bury that. And it's O'Shea with a header, leaps up, pretty free, marking, poor defending. Poor defending that. Luckily, it goes right down the throat of Edison, who just leaps, collects it, gets away. We get away with that one. Got away with that one there. But here comes City. De Bruyne looking for a 1-2 with Doku. Doku gets it back, lays it off to Gvardiol. Gvardiol thinking about whipping it in, chooses against that, gives it to Doku. Into cover. I mean, I'm worried about our season if we lose Kovacic, by the way, because we've got to get Douglas Luiz in, or someone of that same ability and position, that player profile. We need that. Because if we lose Kovacic, we are absolutely fucked, to put it politely. Nothing polite about it. But again, De Bruyne just about gets it to Doku there. I think he's looking for Gvardiol, but slides off his boot. But Kovacic's looking to dink one all the way over to Nunes, who's made a late run. Foden, he slipped and he couldn't quite bring it under control there. Nunes nods it back for that, what is a trademark Kyle Walker run, in fairness to Kyle Walker. Nunes doing the same thing, going over and just ghosting in at the back post there. Kovacic finds him, Nunes nods it back. And Foden, as he's coming onto the ball, you could just see him like awkwardly slip as he's about to at least try and bring it under control and couldn't because he slipped. But Games wants to see McAtee, and I'm starting to think, yeah, I don't see why not, but I've got a funny feeling McAtee... City are rejecting offers, apparently, for McAtee. Apparently offers are coming in for him, and we're rejecting them, but yeah, I feel like Pep just doesn't trust him that much, mate. And thank you very much for the super chat as well. Appreciate that. I do as well, Nathan. I do as well. How you doing, G? Switched to Doku here. Doku's charging forward. Good ball into De Bruyne. Does he bring it under control? Yeah, just about. Phil Foden, 1-0! 1-0 Manchester City. Phil Foden. Kevin De Bruyne's radar has been horrible in this first half so far, but this time he gets it right. He finds the man he's looking for, and it's Phil Foden on the edge of the 6-yard box, brings it under control on the volley, on the half turn, and he just pokes it into that bottom corner. 1-0 Manchester City. Come on. Come on. There's an Ipswich fan in the chat. There's a song I'm going to sing in this game, mate, if we beat you, and you're not going to enjoy it. I'm afraid. You're not going to enjoy it. I'll save it for when the game's a bit more comfortable than being 1-0, but it's 1-0 Manchester City. It's a strange cross there from Kevin De Bruyne. It just pokes it in the box, sort of hopefully. It's good play all round, really, from City. Doku was good, and you can see the what it means to the Manchester City players. Good celebrations there as well. We deserve that, to be honest. We deserve it. We've been creating some pretty clear-cut chances. Should have already been 1-0. Haaland should have absolutely made it 1-0. But Konstantinos is absolutely buzzing, mate. He is, Ryan, isn't it? Well, I'd like to see it over the span of 5 games. 2 games, good performances so far. 3 goals in 2 games from Phil Foden so far. Definitely signs that he's back, but you want to see it from a long-term consistency. You want to see like 5-6 games in a row now where he's like popping up with contributions, assists and goals. But Liam Delap, saved by Edison. Good save as well, to be honest. You expect him to save it. It's just the fact that he gathered it. There was no sloppy rebounds, no bouncing off his chest, and it was bounced right in front of him as well. Not easy to gather that and collect it, but he did. He made it look easy, and it wasn't easy, Edison there. So I've been a bit harsh on him in recent weeks in terms of his shot-stopping ability, but that was pretty good from Edison. Pretty good. And D's backing up Ryan as well. Is it too early to say Foden might be back? I was going down that road, mate, thinking it's a bit on the early side, but 3 goals in 2 games, mate. It's definitely signs. Don't worry about it, Bertie. Glad you're here now, mate. Haaland nearly intercepted that. Doku's going to chase down there. And it's cleared by Walton eventually. I think we're looking for a second here. I mean, the way we've played, we could kill this off before half-time, I think we could. I'm not sure we will, though, but, I mean, I think we could get a second before half-time. Maybe not a third. A third would kill the game. Or would it? Do you know what I mean? The way we've been playing this season, I'm not sure it would, to be honest, but normally, 3-0 should mean you've won the game. So true, Ryan. Very true. And he is doing a good job of it. It's sticking, isn't it? It's sticking when it's pinged into him. But here comes Jeremy Doku. Chops it onto his right foot, lays it off to Phil Foden. One more to Kovacic. Kovacic with the drive, and it's 2-0! There we go! I promised you we'd get that goal. I said we're going to get a second before half-time, and we've delivered it within 30 seconds. Bang! 2-0! 2-0! Against the Tractor Boys. That be them tractor boys. Fucking yes. Fucking yes. Kovacic with the goal. Phil Foden with the assist. Half an hour in, 2-0 up. Let's not fuck this now, Blues, because we can go and get a 3 or 4 here, because a third goal sends us fourth. A third goal sends us fourth. Says Jonny 2 times. Unlucky, mate. It's all right, mate. Appreciate you being here, mate. It's good. We had a Leicester fan. What's his name? Sothello is his name. He might be watching. Might not be. But we had a Leicester fan in. So it's good to see that, like, I'm drawing the attention of rival fans. I wouldn't call Ipswich a rival, but opposition fans. And no one needed to remind me to do the clock either. So I'm having a good day. For someone who felt like he was going to be sick about an hour ago, I felt like I was going to absolutely throw up a lung about an hour ago. You know when you just like, you know when you sweat and you get panicky because you're like, oh, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be sick. And your mouth fills up, doesn't it? Like, ugh. I felt like I was going to have a bad afternoon. But I think it's decided which end it wants to come out of, and I'm hoping it's later. There we go. There we go. But 2-0. Game is not won, but it's certainly a very good start. A little signpost, mate. I haven't seen you in ages. I'm sure you've been in here recently, actually, but I feel like I've not seen you in ages. That's James from Thailand, if anyone's wondering. I remember you, mate. How you doing? Maria as well, buzzing. Hasham is extremely happy. It was, Ipak. It was a really good goal, wasn't it? Jeremy Doku, by the way, some great wing play there from Jeremy Doku. But the ball has broken here for Ipswich. They're coming down the right wing, but they've slowed it down. And it's Godfrey. Ben Godfrey. He's the one who pissed off Haaland a couple of years back. Who remembers Haaland's face against Everton, where he did that face? Do you remember that? I'm sure that was Ben Godfrey for Everton. And what? I'm sure it was. But Leif Davis here. Out to Godfrey. Oh, stomach stodge, mate. It's just proper rumbles. You know when you just... Ugh, it's just not good. I'm trying my best. But yeah, Ipswich looking to respond here with Hutchinson. Whips it. Back post. There's men over here as well, you know. Leif Davis. Closed down by Nunes and closed down without flying in like a fucking bull in a china shop. Do you know what I mean? He needs to chill, Nunes, because he's already given a free kick away and you don't... It's not great giving free kicks away in dangerous areas, but he's already given a penalty away this season that was daft. He is a bit rash, isn't he, Nunes? And he's nearly given a free kick away there and he nearly gave the ball away there, Nunes. I feel sorry for him. He's not a right back. He's not a right back. I am a hero, Nathan, but appreciate it, mate. There's Calvin Phillips. I didn't give one, did I? I didn't give my prediction. It's quite easy for me to give a prediction now that we're 2-0 up, though. It seems a bit stupid, to be honest. I'm going to go... No, I don't know. I'll give you a prediction now. I think we're going to win 4-1. That's my prediction from now. I might have... You know, it's easy to say that, isn't it? That I might have even predicted that before the game. But it's very easy to say that now you're 2-0 up. I felt like we've got goals in us at the minute. I do feel like we're able to score. You think about the West Ham game, obviously Salford, and again, always comes with the fact that that's League 2 opposition. But like I said, 8-0 is 8-0. Doesn't matter. If you're playing against anyone in the English football pyramid, scoring 8 goals against them is an achievement. Great turn by Gundogan. Fouled, but Haaland says, I'll take that off you, no problem, mate. Whips, cuts it inside to Kovacic, who sprays it out to De Bruyne. De Bruyne slows it down a little bit, looking for someone to give it to. Gives it to Kovacic, who pings it out to Nunes. Great football, this is. Nunes whips it with his left foot. Straight into the hands of Walton, but a lovely move again from Manchester City. It really is. We're looking good. We're looking good. Just need to control the Ipswich attacks now, and I think we'll see this game out. Hopefully before half-time. It's going to happen, Church. It's going to happen, mate. It's going to happen. Good to see you, Clara. How you doing? That's it, Adrian. Okay. Yes, I think he can, but I don't think he will. I think he's got good defensive midfield attributes as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him being John Stones. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the guy that's being transitioned out of the football club and transitioned into the football club is Vita Heiss. And I think that it's the John Stones replacement. I mean, John Stones just injured all the time. So we need to think about that. Even though he's not being linked with a move away from the club, he's still just not available. Ball in, Edison collects again. Strong goalkeeping again from Edison. Easy to deal with, but you know, you got to do it, and he's done it. Stefan's not a fan of Nunes. I still have time for Nunes, and I know a lot of that. Some people have done with him already. Some people consider Nunes on thin ice. I'm not done with him yet. I still think he's got a future, but it's. You wonder if he's going to survive the transfer policy that City are introducing. In the by the way, it is a high press from City, so the reason Edison's playing makes sense. So Pep knew exactly what was coming. I'm surprised Ipswich are pressing. The reason we're creating so many chances is because Ipswich are being brave, but being brave is one word. You could call it stupid. You could call it naive. Ball in there from Gvardiol finds the toes of Phil Foden, who just about keeps it under control with a lovely little twinkle toe there. Pings one out to Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne over the bar. A little bit of a wry smile there from De Bruyne, like should have hit that on target. But Phil Foden plucks that out of the air really well there. Good football. Good football. That random Ipswich fan. That's a great name, especially considering you are a random Ipswich fan in the chat. Is that your job? You go around being a random Ipswich fan in random chat forums. That's such a good existence you have. Like, fair play to you, mate. Fair play. I like coming across fans of other clubs outside of the top six because social media is just littered with Liverpool, Arsenal, United. It's boring, mate. And then you get a few Spurs sprinkling in and Chelsea and stuff. But I like to speak to the bottom half of the Premier League fans. I'm always curious on their takes, man. And yeah, I just like to speak to them. Don't know why, but I do. But yeah, Nunes, I know what you mean. It's an interesting one. I've still got a little bit of time for him. I think he's got a future this season, obviously, but it's just, will he survive when City have finished all their business this January plus next summer? Will he be considered a squad player? Will he get anywhere near a starting 11? Jeremy Doku with a lovely little 1-2 with Kevin De Bruyne. Found brilliantly again by Doku. A ball across. Oh, and it's ricocheted. De Bruyne's got the ball back a little bit, fortunately then. Ipswich couldn't clear their lines. And Doku's got another chance again. Repeat. Ball in, back post. And it's cleared out for a corner. Ipswich hanging on here. They're hanging on for keeping it at 2-0 before half-time. Because if we can bag a third, we could be looking at a good scoreline to almost definitely go to bed tonight with Manchester City being in the Champions League spots. And that's what I want. I want to go to sleep tonight thinking about Erling Haaland, Mamouche, Champions League, the champions. That's what I want to go to bed dreaming about tonight. Because the targets have shifted, let's be honest. The goalposts have moved for Manchester City. We're not targeting Premier League titles. We're targeting top four. Let's be real. De Bruyne's ball into the box after a short corner was taken. I think the ball to him from Doku was a little bit light there, to be honest. But Foden whips one. Dangerous from... Oh, it looked really good. What's the word? The trajectory of that ball from Phil Foden looked really good. Just didn't get the angle right in terms of... Got too much bend on it and bent it away from all the City players. Out for a goal kick. The champions! You need to get me in Jeff's church, mate. That's what you need to do. Me and Jeff. I'll be on the vocals. Jeff on the violin. What would our boy band be called, Jeff? the twats. I think that's what. Yeah. That's where I was going. I was going down that road. Yeah. The Hayes Records gets it. That's where my thinking was going. Yeah. Jeff loves the word twat. He's a big fan of it now. It was good play from Doku down the left-hand side. Finds Kevin De Bruyne with a little inside ball into the penalty area. De Bruyne is almost at the byline, struggling to bring it under control, but he does. And then he pokes it almost on the volley with like a poked volleyed effort into Phil Foden, who's on the edge of the 6-yard box. Foden takes a touch because the ball's sort of behind him a little bit, but brings it into his path for a shooting opportunity. He shoots on the volley and just sort of pokes it into that bottom left-hand corner to make it 1-0. But here's Kevin De Bruyne looking to make it 3. Across! Phil Foden! Yes! It's 3! Almost just described the first goal to you. And it's almost again. Kevin De Bruyne to the byline, cuts it into Phil Foden on the edge of the 6-yard box, and now it's 3-0. Manchester City are in the top 4. And Ipswich are getting run ragged. And that Ipswich fan in the chat, I apologise, mate, but your sister is your mother, your uncle is your brother, you all fuck one another, the Ipswich family, doo-ba-doo-doo. Sorry, mate. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry, mate. Oh, mate. You've been so kind in the chat as well, mate, and I'm absolutely sorry. 3-0. I was going to do it at 3-0, and I did it. And I felt really bad about it because there was an Ipswich fan in the chat. Do you know what I mean? It's easy to bitch about him and give him a load of shit. But I'm not doing it face to face, am I? But do you know what I mean? When someone's actually there, like, it's a bit different. It feels different. See, look at him. Oh, he's a class act, mate. He's a class act. I like this guy. 3-0. You've heard it before, mate. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've heard it before anyway. 3-0. I thought we could do this before half time, and we've done exactly that. I mean, we could do 4, to be honest, because City, the confidence now. But Ipswich, you know what? Their energy levels haven't dropped. They're still charging at us. They look angry. They look frustrated. They don't want to get humiliated. And that's one thing that's never really been in question with Ipswich this season is attitude. You know, they've always been top-level attitude. Do you think you're staying up, mate? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. But yeah, De Bruyne, who's... lovely ball from Kevin De Bruyne into Phil Foden. We could be about to make it 4. Fucking hell, Phil. Foden just batters one at Erling Haaland. Like, control that, you twat. No chance. Boots it out for a goal kick to Ipswich. But the intention was good. You could see what he was trying. He just got a bit too much air on it. And power. He just absolutely leathered it at Erling Haaland, giving him no chance of controlling it. But you can see the momentum of Manchester City right now is strong. The force is with us. The force is with you. When he signs, mate. When he signs, Mohammed. He hasn't officially signed yet. He has, but he's not been announced. He will be announced on tomorrow, I think. Almost certain of that. I think the medical's been done. Contracts have been done. I'm really looking forward to seeing Kushinov. Because it's my sort of defender. Do you know what I mean? I like that. I like ball-playing defenders, but I like defenders, do you know what I mean, that are brave enough to put their head where most players are scared to put their feet. Do you know what I mean? He seems like that guy. And I love that about him. And I'm excited to see how many matches he comes away with one of those bandages and like a little bit of dribbling blood down his eyebrow. He's going to be that guy. Pablo Zabaleta, Nigel de Jong. Think of all the tough nuts that we've had in recent years. Otamendi, to name a few. Hoodrich, thanks very much for the super chat. Kushinov has 45. Shirt number, you mean, yeah? What will Heiss wear? Your point. My point? I don't know, to be honest. What's available? Never really been one to bother about that much. I'm bothered about Marmoush. I'm curious to see... Hang on, Phil Foden's picked the pocket here. They're in trouble here, Ipswich. Oh, Foden just couldn't quite make his mind up there. He had Gundogan to the left of him, Haaland to the right of him, and eventually doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? Decision-making there needed to be a little bit better from Phil Foden, but still, great first half from Phil Foden, but that could have easily been 4-0. Manchester City before the half-time whistle's even blown. But yeah, Ryan says Marmoush will have number 7. I'm excited to see number 7 being handed to Marmoush. And in turn, there goes the half-time whistle, by the way. Brilliant, brilliant from Manchester City. Really, really good, really good. Sort the clock out. Yeah. Pep doesn't look happy. He's pissed off, probably. I think he's pissed off that Haaland's got a 9.5-year contract and on £600 billion a minute. There's no way he's earning more than Pep, because I'm pretty sure that's kind of similar to what Fergie was like at United, where like no player earned more than Fergie. That's how it should be at this club as well. No one should earn more than Pep. No player should get more money than Pep. So considering the numbers that are being branded around with regards to Haaland's salary, Pep must he must have got a payday as well. You know, must have done. William, thanks very much for the super chat. Foden is back. United is going down. Imagine. Haaland has a 115-month contract. January signings. Jonny's beautiful. Oh, thank you very much. Jonny's beautiful. What a time to be alive. Not really, am I, mate? But yeah, appreciate the compliment, mate. 115-month contract is just absolutely top-tier banter from Manchester City Football Club, innit? Top tier. Not great, Christine. Everybody always assumes I'm having a poo. When I go for a pee at half-time, it's always a wee. This could be different. People might be able to get it right. But, no, let's not go into too much information. It's dodgy. I've got a really dodgy stomach at the minute. I can't lie. It's like, it's painful. You know what I mean? It's not, you know what I mean? It's like, ugh, it's not very nice at all. I'm hoping it pisses off soon. But, yeah, that's it, Clara. And apparently, that's before bonuses. That's before bonuses. I also heard on... I don't need this anymore, do I? I just fucking sit here and do it myself. What was I going to say? Apparently, bonuses are on top of that as well. On top of the 500k, Clara. So... wow. I was going to say something. I forgot what I was going to say now. I got distracted by my arse. What was I going to say? Can't remember now. But that was it. Rumours are Kevin De Bruyne is going to sign a 1-year contract with Manchester City, which I'm a little bit surprised at. But what I'm pleased about, which is associated with the rumour, that he's signing a contract with a reduced wage. So he's willing to earn less and stay at Manchester City. So fair play to Kevin De Bruyne if he's going to do that. I mean, it feels a bit daft being here. I mean, I'm sure most of you are in the same boat. It is normal earning rates. I imagine most of you in the chat do not earn 400 grand a week, because if you do, what are you doing here? Do you know what I mean? I mean, if you are in the super chat, in the chat, making 400 grand a week, where's my fucking monstrous super chats if you're making 400 grand a week, first of all? That's the selfish comment right there. Second point, to say thank you for earning a little bit less. What's he gone from 400 grand to 300 grand? Oh, well done, Kevin. Do you know what I mean? It feels a bit daft saying like, oh, thanks for earning a bit less. Oh, very charitable, Kevin, going from 400 grand to 300 grand a week, or whatever it is. I don't know, maybe 50%, who knows? But still, 200 grand a week, 200 grand a bloody week. Do you know what I mean? Church, mate, thank you very much for the super chat. I'm more surprised that City aren't going for a blockbuster name to replace... Yeah. To replace Kevin De Bruyne with a long-term replacement. And I'm hoping next season Kevin De Bruyne is used a little bit more sparingly rather than so much of our dependency on him. It's too high at the minute because he spends big chunks of the season injured. It's not a question of quality with Kevin De Bruyne. I'm not doubting his quality, although that may be a question next season because next season he will be 1 year older. It's more a question of availability. Is he going to be fit? You know, because he always picks up that injury, which is always going to be a concern. But if we've signed a player to play, let's say 30 games or let's say 25 and Kevin De Bruyne plays the other 13 games in the Premier League, then yeah, I think that makes more sense. And Kevin De Bruyne or comes on as a substitute for the last 20 minutes or starts again, plays an hour, Kevin De Bruyne, then we bring on the new signing that's meant to be, and it's more of a transition thing rather than just like ripping off a plaster straight away. De Bruyne gone, new player in. Rather, it had been slowly transition. We did that with Fernandinho and Rodri, didn't we? Don't forget. You know, Rodri he didn't get off to a good start, Rodri, at Manchester City. He struggled, actually, to get up to the speed of things. Fernandinho was the main man, but towards the second half of that first season, Fernandinho found himself a little bit more on the bench more often, and slowly but surely, Rodri was just like bedded in gently. And I think that approach should be the same with whoever it is that replaces Kevin De Bruyne. And maybe that's why we're giving him another year contract to not go the other way and then completely depend on this new player, which is a large amount of pressure, whoever it may be. But anyway, I need to go to the toilet. So enjoy speaking to the chair. 3-0 Manchester City. Come on, Blues. I'll be back in a minute. Make sure you hit that like button. Cheers. Oh, 3-0. Leave a like for every poo that I had in the I didn't need to go to the yeah, I don't know where we're going. Where is this channel going now? We're getting very involved in my private life, aren't we? Talking about, I might as well take that bloody camera with me. You know, I bet some of you would enjoy it as well. Just come and have a shit with me. Let's have a chat, half-time team talk on the bog. Juicy. Hey, that's mad you've just said that, Kathy. We were just singing that to my little girl. I went in there. The missus was in there with our little girl. Big fan of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Not Tinkle Tinkle Little Star, but Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Captain Kringles, mate. Top man, Captain Kringles. Alexandros, hello from Greece. What is it? Kalinita. Because it will be, what is it? It's 7:30 where you are, innit? Kalinita. Yasu. And Peracolo. How's that? How did I do? How did I do? Did alright there, I think. Felt like I did alright. I know, sorry Florist, mate. I'm gonna get in the way of the chair once in a while, haven't I? Sorry about that. New Jonny Law, he knows Greek. I know. Not many. I think I just reeled off my whole... Konstantinos is Greek as well. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Jonny from Israel. I've been Israel as well. I went to the Wailing Wall, and I went to where Jesus was born, according to the book, the big book. It really has, hasn't it? It really has. And I've been to Egypt as well. I told a story the other week, actually. I got kidnapped by some bloke on a camel in Egypt. I really did. Yeah, not good. But yeah, the country was lovely. Went to the pyramids. And that's where it happened as well. Some bloke on a camel tried to just send me into the Sahara Desert and then ask for money to get me back. It wasn't like a proper kidnapping. He just fucked off into the desert, and like my parents were still in sight. It's just like he pissed off and then wanted money back. And that was it. No, it was when I was like 12, by the way. So no, I didn't even know the missus at the time. Yeah, I was like 12 years old when it happened. So, yeah, not great. And we've got Mamouche as well from Egypt as well. We've got some knob in the chat, have we? That comment just made me... sent me backwards. Just like, absolute... Doesn't even make sense, though, does it, really? I don't even know why I gave it the... why I gave it the lip service. A waste of time, really. But, yeah. Is it Raj? Was that his name? I didn't even check his name, Raj. There's a pizza place near mine called Raj. Good pizzas. So if that's you, mate, do not spit on my next pizza, please. Cheers. It's a bit dark, that, isn't it? Greeting from Dubai, the land of greed and money. Good question, Morales. I'm not sure they'll be registered in time, because I think the whole Champions League thing is a whole registering thing. You need to register the players, don't you? Pink Kennedy, thank you very much for asking that question. I mix it up a little bit, to be honest. I mix it up a little bit, but my all-time favourite isn't probably what most people go for, but I go for pepperoni, mushrooms, and sweet corn. That's probably my go-to pizza. But I might add peppers on there as well. I might even throw a bit of doner meat in there as well. But yeah, pepperoni, sweet corn and mushroom, that's my go-to. That's my go-to pizza, man. Stomach does not like the idea. I'm thinking about pizza, then my stomach went, fuck off. Like that. Jesus. Just the thought of it then made my stomach go a bit funny. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It really is. I'm not a fan of goat on pizza, though. If that's what you meant. Terrible joke. Terrible. I bet the goat's quite big in Jamaica, isn't it? I'm sure there's some Jamaicans in the chat. And goat's quite a big delicacy in Jamaica. I believe. That's what I've been told anyway. I don't know. I've never actually had it on its own. But is it nice? Is it good? I've never actually. I don't know. I'm a bit dubious about. I don't know why I'm dubious about it. I'm a bit uncertain. It doesn't seem like there's much meat to begin with on a goat. They seem pretty skinny. It's getting mad in the chat, innit? Make sure you're hitting that like button before the second half starts. Do you reckon we could get to, what are we on, 340 plus? Do you reckon we could get to 350 before the game kicks off in the second half? Because it's a matter of seconds away. Manchester City on their way out. Ipswich. Is it good? I'm curious now. I want to try it now. Not many. Not many. Raj is getting pelters, mate. Raj, mate, you're getting done. Is it really? Goat and lamb. I love a bit of lamb. Mint sauce. It's a very unique flavour, lamb, isn't it? Very unique. It can be really bad though, can't it? If you get fatty lamb, it's like, ugh. But when it's good, fuck, it's fucking brilliant, isn't it? That's why I still prefer beef, because beef's a little bit more consistent. Lamb, the spectrum of quality with lamb is like really good or really bad. Whereas I feel like beef's a little bit more consistent. Chicken's consistent as anything, isn't it? You can't go wrong with chicken. But, yeah, Raj is getting absolutely done. He's getting absolutely done. Anyway, second half's about to get underway, and it's going to be Ipswich to get us underway. City need to just keep it sensible now. Game management, nothing stupid, because 3-0 with our track record this season of getting goal leads and throwing them away. I would not be surprised if that song that I chanted with regards to the Ipswich family comes back to bite me firmly in the arse. Right, game's underway. Come on, City. Second half. Let's do this. I'm looking for 5-6-0 really here. Church needs a 6-0. It's about time. Gone long. Gundogan clears it. But yeah, no changes to speak of either, by the looks of things. Still got Godfrey O'Shea and Burgess at the back, with Johnson, Morsey, Kajusta and Leaf Davis. Is it Life or Leaf? Kovacic has stolen the ball. We could be making it 4-0. Seconds into the second half here. Ball across. Phil Foden was waiting, but it's been cleared. Doku brings it under control. Is he going to keep it in? No, he's not. A little bit of a heavy touch there. But an early opportunity for City to make it 4-0 within the first 30 seconds of the second half. It's good. It's been a good game from City so far. What I want to see from City, if we concede a goal, is don't concede a second. If you concede a goal, anyone can concede a goal and anyone can score a goal at any moment in football. At any level, a goal can just happen. Sometimes you can't do anything about it. Sometimes it's a bit of luck. Sometimes a bit of magic. Sometimes a mistake. It just happens. It can happen. Don't let it bother you. That's the main thing. Just relax. You're 3-0 up. And if you become 3-1 up, don't shit the bed, which I'm going to do later. Don't do that and chill. Just relax at 3-1. Krypton Warrior, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Really appreciate that. That's your first super on a live stream as well. Thanks, mate. Stick a comment in the comments as well if you want to make me to read something out, mate. If you forgot to put it in the chat box, let us know. And I'll read it out for you, mate. Which one? Doku prediction. Did I miss it, Jeff? I don't miss Jeff's super chats, do I? Don't send another one, Jeff. Just type it out, mate. And I'll look it out. Jeff, mate, I'm so sorry. Did I genuinely miss a super chat? Fucking hell, man. Bollocks, man. Sorry, Jeff.
Cheers, Jeff.
Fuck is your profile picture, mate? Jesus Christ. She's been shot in the face. Not sure I should have even put that on the screen. I'll probably get demonetised now for that. Anyway, Ipswich, they've got a man over here. We're in big trouble here. Big trouble. It's Johnson. Great save by Edison. Second save. Clip. Is it? What? The camera just went to Johnson's face. Like, I don't know what. I presume it's fine and there's no problem there, but that was a real opportunity for Ipswich. Gavardio was being turned inside out there, but he had a man over. He had no other option. Edison, great first save from Edison. A little bit lucky that the ball, as he leaps on it, he sort of like pokes it onto Ruben Diaz's shins and then collects the ball. The cameraman got a bit giddy, or whoever it is who has the job of changing the camera from which we're watching, got a bit giddy and pressed it a little bit too early because Edison hadn't actually brought the ball under control yet. It was bouncing off Ruben Diaz's shin, and then it zoomed into Johnson's face. But here's Jeremy Doku! 4-0! You got punished, Ipswich. You should have made it 3-1. You didn't. And now it's 4-0. Jeremy Doku! Doku! Come on, City. Top 4. Let's go. Let's go. It said, email me. I need your physical address to send a bunch of American candy. I got ready to go. Jeff, mate. Plus our boy band name is Twats Across the Pond or JS Squared. Oh, J Squared. I like that. J Squared. You creative bastard, you. I like it. J Squared. What's our genre, Jeff? 4-0. Right, I will do, Jeff. I'll email it you, mate, and I'll hook something up for you as well. And in the same email, give me your address. I think I've got it somewhere, mate. Because I sent you a shirt, didn't I? Because anyone who's wondering why I sent Jeff a shirt, it's because he hooks me up with the ability to watch 3 o'clock kickoffs. Thanks to Jeff, which is why he gets a lot of love off me. Because without that, there would be quite a few watchalongs that don't happen. So big up to Jeff. And he wants to go reggae jazz, which is a very strange fusion of genres, that is, isn't it? Reggae jazz. I don't even know what that sounds like. I'm not sure I've heard reggae jazz before. There's all sorts of fusions now, isn't there? Edison's just gone for a fucking wander. He's just thought, fuck this, I'm going left back. He's done all right, though, because here comes Jeremy Doku down the left side for Manchester City. 50 minutes gone. 4-0 kills the game, surely. 4-0 must kill the game. Even a goal now from Ipswich wouldn't rattle you. You'd be like, well, we're 3 up now. We've got 3-goal advantage still. It'd be nice to see Nunes get involved a little bit more. That's probably his first touch of the second half there that he just took. But yeah, 4-0 away, Ipswich. I mean, they've been mixed in their form lately. They've been doing all right. They beat Chelsea 2-0, don't forget, a couple of weeks back. So they're no mugs, you know. But we've turned up to Portman Road and played some really good football. But that opportunity for Ipswich, what a second half it would have been had they bagged that. If they'd bagged that, and that's just, it's not luck, it's just, you know, it's just football, isn't it? It's just the circumstances. And I mean, it's felt like this season, every time the opportunity for an opponent to score in a situation, in a scenario like that, they have scored, you know, and then we've panicked and worried about it. And it's gone our way this time. Well, Edison saved it, let's not forget. It was a great save from Edison. So, I mean, it's down to us that ball didn't end up in the back of the net, or down to Edison at least, that ball didn't end up in the back of the net. And Edison gets his reward, and Manchester City do, with Jeremy Doku making it 4-0. Albeit, I think it took a bit of a deflection. I didn't even watch the replay, to be honest. I was too busy talking to Jeff about reggae jazz and sweets. But here's Gundogan, ball to the byline for Kevin De Bruyne. Could it be 5? Back post over everybody. It's mad how Haaland hasn't scored yet, isn't it? That's a handball. Referee didn't see it. Surely that was handball, but Jeremy Doku gets away with on there. They tried to clear the ball, hits the hand of Jeremy Doku, but the ball breaks to him anyway. Gundogan with a strange touch there. I think I know what he was trying to do, but didn't get enough on it. Tried to do a little flick for Kovacic, but just not enough on it there from Gundo. Yeah, Adrian, you might be right there, mate. You might be right. He has been carrying an injury. He doesn't look bad. He's been mobile in this game by his standards. I still want to see Haaland from against Leicester. Do you know what I mean? Foden, a little dink over the top. Haaland to chase. Godfrey pissing about with it, and it's going to be a goal kick. Or is it? No, corner ball. Godfrey's not happy. Probably should look like a goal kick to me. Godfrey thinks so as well. But yeah, Haaland against Leicester. It's not just the fact that he scored. It's the performance from Haaland showed everyone, every City fan, that he isn't just a number 9 who just has to live in the box. He can get involved and come deep. How many times did we see Haaland do something that's more on the creative side than the goal output side of things? Do you know what I mean? Like that dribble on the edge of the box, for example, that was like brilliant. And then there was he kept coming, collecting it deep. Ball in from De Bruyne is a poor one there, but it's cleared. Hey, Krypton Warrior, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. City fans since 06. Christ is our Lord and Saviour. Thanks for the super chat, mate. Since 06. So what have you seen? You've seen Stephen Ireland. You've seen Alano. You've seen a bit of Rolando Bianchi. Did you see Samaras? I'm not sure. Was Samaras around in 06? I'm not sure he was. Seen a bit of the old Richard Dunn. He's here. He's there. He's every fucking where. Richard Dunn. Richard Dunn. The #1 own goal scorer in the Premier League, Richard Dunn. And you know what? That sounds like I'm taking the piss. And I am taking the piss. But he was a fucking brilliant player. He really was. He was a proper... He was a warrior. That was a real warrior, Richard Dunn. He was a beast. Petrov as well, yeah. I mean, left foot whipped in from Martin Petrov. Nunes, no, he's not going to keep that in there. A little bit overhit. Ball to him as he's trying to get down to that byline. Can't read the last word out. It's one word I've not said on this channel, is that. I'll say it at some point, but I'm not going to say it for that. But it was unbelievable, Oliver. Unbelievable. Couldn't have been more top corner. Shea Given in net as well, wasn't it? Who ends up wearing a Manchester City shirt eventually. Oh, it's dodgy from Ipswich, and they get away with it. I don't know what that was from Gvardiol there. I think he's trying to find Kevin De Bruyne quickly, because he comes onto it. He's already got the ball. It intercepted. Ipswich are falling apart a little bit here. They're starting to look a little bit shaky. I think at 2-0 they showed spirit. Even at 3-0 they showed a bit of spirit. You know, they didn't look like they'd given up. They were still mobile, but here they go. They got an opportunity. No, they've not. But since that fourth has gone in, since the whistle went for the second half, they've given it away. Shocking. Ipswich are in big trouble here. Jeremy Doku into Erling Haaland's got to be 5. It is 5. Ipswich are completely capitulating. And Manchester City have made it 5-0. 5-0. Brilliant. Top 4. Let's go. Undefeated. In what is that now? 6? I think undefeated. Brilliant. Not sure we're back yet, but yeah, mate. I was saying it before they happened. They look like they're falling apart, but that ball across there was absolutely crazy. Crazy. An assist for Jeremy Doku. Erling Haaland gets his goal. He sort of pushes it. One of those, like, prods it. Side foot. Jeremy Doku just intercepted a crazy pass across the back line for Ipswich. Jeremy Doku reads it like a book, mate. Reads it like the daily newspaper. Gets on it. Sprints towards goal. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Jeremy Doku lays it on a plate for Erling Haaland, who can't really miss from that point, and he smacks it into the ground, Haaland, which takes it kindly over the outstretched leg of Walton and into the back of Ipswich's net to make it 5-0. "56 minutes. I mean, what could happen here as well? They've given it away again. Ipswich here. De Bruyne. It's a 3-on-3. It's Erling Haaland again. Could it be 6? Could it be 6? Jeremy Doku. Erling Haaland saved by Walton. Should have been 6, but we could be about to get the 6th. And it's De Bruyne. Oh, and it's just over the bar. It's onto the roof of the net. Just an awkward deflection and just bounces. And Walton, who's diving to his left, and the deflection takes it over him, and he's looking and hoping that goes over the net, and it does just that. Just about. And they get away with it there, Ipswich. It should have been 6-0. They're getting battered, mate. They are getting battered at this point. And it's becoming a little bit self-inflicted now at this point, because I think City deserve to be well in front. Rightly so are we in the lead, but at this point we're being gifted opportunities now. And here's Kevin De Bruyne, whips it deep, back post. Walton deals with it, clears it. Just about. Haaland looking for that hat-trick. Haaland, of course, who's coming off the back of a 9.5-year contract and bagging a goal in the process. Oh, Church, mate. Church. Where are you, Church? Church, by the way, big up to Church, who's been dropping major donations in this stream so far. Big up to you, mate. And I hope this could be... Because of that, this could be karma, mate. It could be karma. This could be the day where 6-0 happens. On the day where you drop all those gifted memberships, mate. It's the same day we win 6-0. It seems kismet, mate. It seems perfect. I hope it happens. I hope it happens. Mackie Foden, thank you very much for the super chat. I don't know what that says, mate. Is that A? Pop a comment in the chat, mate, and I'll look out for you and try and read it out, but if that meant something else. But I don't know if that means something, because it's got a little... What is that? A little bit of like umlaut above the A. I don't know what that means, mate. A star, I think. That's what we'll say. Well, A star from Manchester City. Because it has been A star from Manchester City. What is that? What does that mean? I'm curious now. The German himself wants McAtee to come on. At this point, yeah, I think you're making a good point. But we could be about to see... I think I just saw Divin Mubama stood on the touchline, which means Erling Haaland's going to be coming off. In fact, James McAtee, there you go. The Germ, you get it. You get what you want. Divin Mubama, James McAtee, and Jack Grealish are all coming on. Oh, Edison with a little bit awkward there. Like it was an effort from a crossing position there from Hutchinson, where really he should be crossing the ball. But in fairness to him, I don't think there was anyone in the box to actually aim for. I think maybe Rory Delap, but sorry, not Rory Delap, Liam Delap. Why is Liam Delap not busting a gut to get in that box there? And he thought, fuck it, I'm having a shot. Hutchinson has a shot. And Edison awkwardly just tried, because it was going out of play, and it was like his momentum took him over the line, and just tried to throw it back in play to con the linesman that it's not a corner, but he doesn't, and it's a corner to Ipswich. An opportunity to make it 5-1 for Ipswich. Near post cleared by Kevin De Bruyne. He's the near post man at the minute, isn't he, Kevin De Bruyne? In the last couple of games, he's been defending that near post from corners pretty well, actually. He's cleared quite a few. He's cleared a couple in this game. He cleared a couple in the Brentford game. It's normally Haaland's job, that, isn't it? Because he's the big guy. He's the Alan Shearer who gets back. The Didier Drogba that gets back and defends that near post. But it's Kevin De Bruyne. Hutchinson tries to get a little bit fancy with a little bit of a back heel. Doesn't come off. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Got over 1,000 watching. Thank you for tuning in to Typical City. Really appreciate that. But 384 likes. Can we get to 400? That'd be a massive help. Jack has got to go now, right? Or does he just stay and be a sub to give us control when we're winning? Which is the job he's doing right now, to be honest. I think it all depends on the transfer activity. I think it's... that's it, mate. That's it. I think he's probably... His time at City's coming to an end. Whether it's summer or not, I'm not sure. It would make sense to do it now because he's going to be 30 next season, Jack Grealish. And bearing that in mind, if you want to get money for him, now's the time because you're not going to get more than 20, 25 million for him if you wait till the next summer when he becomes a 31-year-old and you start having to let him go on the cheap. But I think Jack Grealish could... hang on a minute. Sky's about to go on standby. I need to stop that from happening. Jack Grealish could be a very useful, more than useful, an incredibly important player for I think, for a top 8 football club. You look at Aston Villa. Could he go back there? I'm not sure he will because he's been booed. Every time he goes back there, he gets booed. So I'm not sure the relationship is what it's certainly not what it used to be. But yeah, Spurs. I think he could play well there. I think he could do all right. I think he's at that level. You know, I don't think he's never... The treble season, he was at our level, and I think he delivered a lot more than people give him credit for. The following season in the... Yeah, I think he's got one good season to his name that you can really stamp on the season and say, Jack Grealish had a good season. The G&A was not great, but the output in terms of, like, the pass before the assist, the overall contribution, the defensive work, the positioning, the fact that he was part of a system that was so good it won us a treble. If you're one of the 11 in a treble-winning season, come on. Do you know what I mean? If you're one of the main 11, let's say, in a treble-winning season, then you deserve a massive amount of respect, whether you're getting goals and assists or not. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You've played a massive part. The following season, not great. And this season, pretty much anonymous. Akanji plays it back blindly to Ruben Diaz, but he gets it there in the end. Gvardiol. So yeah, I would cash in on Jack now, to be honest. I would. Which is a shame, but I would cash in on him. I'd be looking for 35, 40 million for him, to be honest. I might be a bit asking for a bit much, but I reckon 35, 40 million is a pretty good deal for Jack Grealish. You're going to get 3 years of good football from him. Plus, you sell shirts with Jack Grealish as well, so you're going to be adding a bit of money to the fee for that because he's not just a player. He's a bit of an icon. You know, he's a bit of a marketing scheme. You're going to make money off him doing that as a club. So I think that is worth the investment for whoever buys him. Ipswich fans getting a bit of love. Fair play to you, mate. You're sticking around and your team's getting spanked 5-0, mate, and you're sticking around and being respected by the City fans in the chat. So big up to you. Raj, on the other hand, what a twat you've turned out to be. Krypton Warrior. Thank you very much. Zero ball knowledge. Ones keep demonising City on social media. Yeah, mate. I mean, it's hardly surprising, is it? Here's Jack Grealish. Go on, Jackie boy. Lays it off to what was meant to be Gundogan, but ends up being Kovacic. But yeah, Krypton, mate, it's not surprising, is it? It's a bit... I've grown used to it. Do you know what, mate? I was thinking about like the whole YouTube journey is like you got to walk before you can run. But in reality, in terms of like interacting with rival fans and just football banter, walking before you can run. I've been running for a while, mate. I've been running for quite some time, as a City fan in particular, defending my club against a whole school full of United fans. So even before social media, when I was in primary school, there was no social media. So I've learned how to defend my club from a very young age, And yeah, it's turned out to be a job for me, which is weird. But yeah, no, I'm quite confident in the way I handle myself now, to the point where I don't even engage with most people on social media now, other than City fans, of course, on my channel. But you know, I pick and choose. You got to pick your battles nowadays. You know what I mean? There's no point going to war over the smallest thing. Ball in, corner ball, cleared by Walton. It was a great ball in. Who crossed that, by the way? Was that Gavardiol? Oh, it was a McAtee corner ball. Very good corner that was. Dangerous. Even though it... Divin Mubama. Oh, on the spin. Jack Grealish thought about the volley but decided to control it. But I thought Divin Mubama was about to pull the trigger then on the edge of the area, left foot. It's good to see him getting Premier League minutes now, because obviously he played really well against Salford, but this is a Premier League opposition. The team's a little bit battered and bruised you're going up against. Ipswich are going to be feeling a bit sorry for themselves. So Divin Mubama, the youngster that he is, could come on and maybe capitalise on Ipswich and how they're feeling right now and maybe get himself a goal. But Jeremy Doku's now playing on the right for Manchester City with Jack gone on to the left. Nice little 1-2 there. Lovely turn by Gundogan, but it was a 1-2 down here by Doku and McAtee before it that was worthy of praise as well. Gavardiol coming forward. Kovacic dinks it over. McAtee! 6-0! Church, mate! Church! It's happening! It's happening. No more goals, Church, and you're having your day. This is your day to shine, Church. Every game you predict 6-0, and this is going to be it. This is going to be it. Come on, Church. Come on, Church. This is for you, mate. All those gifted donations, mate. This is what you deserve. Come on. And McAtee bags himself a goal. The ball from Kovacic was sensational. Just a lovely little dink on the money. The only question now is, was there any offside in there? Because it looked like quite a late run from McAtee. Be interesting to see if he's onside. He looks well onside. Yeah, miles onside. Miles onside. Really poor defending from Leif Davis down here. Just nowhere in. He's got to get up. He's got to push out there. Plays him onside massively. And to be honest, he wasn't the only one who played him onside. The run from McAtee was well timed. But I mean, there was absolutely no question of it being offside because Leif Davis was about 4 or 5 yards deeper than the rest of his defence. But James McAtee makes it 6-0. Where's Church? Dropping massive donos and then pissing off. Oh, there you are. Come on, Church. Feels good being a City fan again, doesn't it? It's been a while. Substitutions happening for Manchester City. Rico Lewis, Nico O'Reilly look to pick up. They've given it away. Leif Davis again, straight to Divin Mubama. Do you know, I'm surprised. The random Ipswich fan, I'm surprised at your team's performance, I must admit. Because while we've been good, the majority... This second half has been a shit show from Ipswich. It really has. And I thought, like, the first 20 minutes was like, oh, they were in the game, you know. There was a couple of opportunities to come forward. Liam Delap was carrying that ball forward. They could have made it 3-1 at the start of the second half as well. So there were moments for Ipswich. Small, and I'm being a little bit generous. But there were definitely moments that we've been up against this season. Less moments in previous games that we've lost, you know. And Ipswich had enough to try and do something in this game. But since that fourth goal went in, it's been a disaster. It's been a disaster for Ipswich. It really has. Kovacic and City's confidence levels now, you can just see the assertiveness of every player. Then Kovacic, just then dangerous to be trying to beat a player. Just ghosts past, I think it was Delap who was trying to press him. And a dangerous player to try and beat someone, because if you give it away, we're in big trouble. But he doesn't mind. He's brave enough to do it because he's got confidence running through his veins right now. And I think a lot of City fans are going to be feeling confident as well going into that Chelsea game. The PSG game as well, coming up midweek. Come and join me for the Watchalong Wednesday night. It is, of course, it's Wednesday night because this is a Sunday game. Nunes with a powerful run. There's got to be a foul in there, though. Yeah, ref. He was having his shirt pulled the whole way. Luongo wasn't having Nunes running away from him. If the ball's getting past him, the player certainly isn't. and he just held Núñez by the shirt. Kovacic coming off, which is disappointing because, I mean, yeah, protecting him makes perfect sense. The game's 6-0. This is a substitution that makes sense. It really does. 6-0 up, no problem. When you're 2-0 up away at Brentford, taking Kovacic off, that's a different substitution. But it's going to be Nico O'Reilly, I presume, who's going to sit. Probably alongside Gundo. Taking off Delap and Hutchinson for Taylor and Hurst. So I would suggest that's a bit more damage limitation for Ipswich here. 6-0, mate. Fucking hell. So much time to go as well. It's mad. Still 18 minutes plus stoppage time. So I remember the Rags beat Ipswich 9-1 once upon a time. Do you remember that? That was like 20 years ago, wasn't it? 9-1. Couldn't we get a repeat? I mean, 8-0 against Salford. Yeah, it's good. But 6-0 against Premier League opposition away from home. Because not many teams are doing that this season. How many big scorelines have there actually been this season? Not many. I've not seen many teams put 6 past anybody this season. In fact, I can't think of any this season. Get in the chat and let me know what the big scorelines have been this season, because I can't think of many at all. It shows the level of Premier League quality from top to bottom. Nobody batters anybody anymore. It's always like 2-1, 3-1. I mean, Bournemouth yesterday, 4-1 at fucking St James's Park. That was a proper result, that was. Wow. Bournemouth blew them away. Blew them away. Adoni Areola as well. He looks like a proper manager, him, doesn't he? He's got Bournemouth playing some serious football. When do you ever bet against Newcastle at home? You just don't do it, do you? No one would ever have put... I mean, I bet you're talking about 1% of the bets that came in for that game were for Bournemouth to even win the game. A low percentage of bets would have had Bournemouth to win the game. That's just winning the game. To win the game 4-1. It's like, wow. And Newcastle were flying at that moment as well. They previous games, they've been really good. It's a fantastic result for City as well in terms of the top 4, because that brings Newcastle down to what was our level. And now we've smashed the goal difference as well, which is really, really good as well. We put a big gap between ourselves and Newcastle. You wonder if Forest can keep it up, because our next Premier League game is Chelsea at home. And that's a really big game, a big deciding factor as to whether we can start confidently saying we're going to finish in the top 4. Because I think we're going to finish in the top 4. But I'm not saying it with confidence. I'm saying it with a bit of belief. But I think if we beat Chelsea, and if we, in the manner of the win, if we get a win against Chelsea, we'll definitely decide how I feel going for the rest of the season, whether we're going to get this top 4 or not. But I want to play Forest. You know what I mean? It's mad, isn't it? I keep saying it, but we beat Forest 3-0 in that run when we were absolutely crap. How did we beat Nottingham Forest 3-0? They were 3-0 up today against Southampton, and Southampton got 2 back. So you're wondering if there was a little bit of frailties there in Forest, even though they won the game still. Nico O'Reilly with the shot. It's deflected. McAtee tried to head it towards Núñez, trying to keep the ball alive. It's cleared eventually by Leif Davis. Gvardiol. Rico. Fair few academy players on that pitch right now, isn't there? Got Nico O'Reilly, James McAtee, Rico Lewis. Can't really call Divin Mabama an academy player, can you? Because we just bought him. But still. A very young player at least. Come on, City, let's get that. Well, actually, do we want the 7th? Because Church will be gutted, mate. Is that true, Pierre? Didn't know that. No way have we caught Chelsea up. That's big, that. That's really big. So we can stay ahead of them even if they get a point. And they've got Wolves. You expect them to beat Wolves, but Wolves have got a new manager at the minute. They're playing okay football. They look a little bit better now, don't they? But still not picking up enough points to guarantee their safety. But yeah. Phil Foden's having a chat with me on the bench. Great game today, Phil. Well played, mate. Here you go, Ipswich. Come on. Clean sheet would be nice. Football, eh? Don't you just love it? Don't you just love it? It's mad. The feeling around the club, 3 weeks ago, was dire, mate. We were so, we were all just fucking hell. I can't believe how bad it felt to be a City fan 3 weeks ago. And now all of a sudden, even though we're not going to win the league, but it's just good, man, to see us getting back. And you add the football and you combine the transfer rumours that are being associated with City right now, and you just get that real good, feel-good factors come back, hasn't it? But Ipswich looking to get a goal. It's going to be a consolation goal if they get one, but they're knocking the ball around quite nicely here. They've strung about 15 passes together, and then, oh no, he's kept it in there. Leif Davis, not easy, and Nunes steps across him. Probably was a free kick, and a yellow card. A bit surprised at the yellow. The yellow's a bit shit. Don't agree with that. It was probably just a free kick, but he steps across him. He uses his arm a little bit too much, and Leif Davis just goes down more than anything, and it probably was a free kick, but not really a yellow. Clara wants a clean sheet. I think Church himself wants a clean sheet. Elio, I don't know. I feel like we've done... Our history against PSG is pretty good. It's pretty good. We've done reasonably well against them. I remember the Neymar days. You could rattle them, couldn't you? They were such a temperamental side with Neymar in it. As soon as they lost their heads, they'd lost the game. You know, with Neymar, he was such a baby at times, wasn't he? Just so petulant. Ball in. Cleared. It's onto the edge of the area, though. Luongo. Gundogan steps on it. No. It's just about... Well, it's almost Ipswich who cleared it, but only with a pass, and then Nico O'Reilly with a header. City defending valiantly here to try and keep the clean sheet that I would say would be really important for the confidence of the likes of Edison, Ruben Diaz, Gvardiol, Akanji. They've not really been tested that much in this second half at all, really, but they're about to be. Edison collects it. Jeff's had enough. Jeff's had enough of Raj. Kavogo, no, I don't know. If anyone can enlighten me in the chat, I was hoping someone asked Pep the question before the game, but I didn't listen to the pre-match press conference. So if Pep's told people already why Ake's not even in the squad, then I'd like to know why. He's another one that's just always picks up an injury, doesn't he? Such a good player as well. Nathan Ake, fit for the whole season. I think we keep plenty of clean sheets, and I think we probably have more points than we've got now. I really believe that, because I just think him and Ruben Diaz at the back, solid, mate, solid. And I think a lot of our lost points this season have come down to the injuries and things, and like the bit part nature. McAtee with a sloppy ball there, Sudoku given away. Yeah, we've not really had that consistency in the back line, have we? It's always someone different. Even today, Ruben Diaz has only just got back into training, thrown straight in, probably because Ake's not in. And I'm guessing it's injury. I'm guessing it's an injury. Unless someone can tell me otherwise. I'm guessing it's an injury, because he's not even on the bench, is he? So it has to be an injury. It's not like he's being linked out of the club with a move. But he's going to be another player hitting 30 next season. You've got a large number of players that are going to be 30 next season. Both goalkeepers already into their 30s. Jack Grealish, Ake. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne is already there. Gundogan's already there. Silva will be there. John Stones will be there. I'm fucking racking them up here. Do you know what I mean? That's a large number of players that are entering the wrong side of 30. Jeremy Doku beats Life Davis, gets it across. It's deflected away. Ball out to Rico Lewis here. He's going to send it back into the box. Nope. Down to the... Was going to go to the byline with Jack Grealish, but he just comes back with it, Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish being Jack Grealish, just keeping the ball and annoying people. Is that right? February. That's shit. That's shit. He's not back till February. That's a bit crap. So what games is he missing? We're just as we're entering that spell as well. I was going to say, this game was a must-win game because of the fixtures that are coming up, which I'll rattle off for you now. I'm sure you already know, to be fair, but obviously we've got PSG away this Wednesday, followed by next Saturday, Chelsea at home. It's going to be the Saturday evening kickoff, 5:30 kickoff. Come and join me for that one, and the PSG game, and all of them, in fact. Then Bruges, that's a game we should be winning at home to finish off the Champions League campaign. You're hoping there's going to be, that if we can get 6 points, will that be enough in the Champions League to get us into the automatic qualification spots, top 8? Or will we have to play a playoff game? Probably the latter. Even if we get 6 points, we might not be enough. But you never know. That's followed by Arsenal away. And then Leyton Orient, which kind of like pisses on the whole tough run of fixtures, but Leyton Orient, yeah. Nico O'Reilly there giving it away. Leyton Orient with that side. I don't play much of FIFA anymore. But you know when you want to batter someone on FIFA? When you're like, I want to play with a 5-star side against a 1-star side because I'm bored. And I want to score loads of goals. I always used to pick Leyton Orient. And now we're facing them. Away, though. It's going to be an interesting one, that FA Cup. Away at Leyton Orient. I love those games. Like, away at, like, dogged grounds. Like, ugh. It's going to be grim. With dog shits on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Like, 6 rows of fans. Like, I love it. I love that sort of football. And then Newcastle at home, then Liverpool at home, then Spurs away, then Forest away, then Brighton. Tough. All the way, that takes us into April, that does. All those games I just listed. That's a lot of tough teams, you know. But we're taking in, to that run of fixtures, a 6-0 win away against an Ipswich side that I would say have let themselves down in this second half. But still, we haven't. We've done our job and done it emphatically, done incredibly well. Premier League opposition, you know, you're beating them 6-0. You should be proud. He's in the medical room, Rodney. He's in the medical room. And he'll be back soon as well. That's hopefully soon. It's supposed to be around February. So with the loss of Nathan Ake, maybe we could see the return of Oscar Bob. Because I think he's doing light training at the minute, Oscar Bob. But I'd be patient with him. It could be... there you go. Yeah, Clara's on the scene. She knows exactly what's going on. He is back in training. But I would expect it to be a slow and steady recovery because it's a broken bone. You know, you got to take your time and make sure everything's all right. But yeah, back in training, surely. It should be a matter of weeks now rather than months, you're hoping. Because what are we, 19th of January? Next live will definitely be the Watchalong. And I appreciate you tuning in. Big up to the random Ipswich fan, everybody. Show him some love because, I mean, he's come in as an Ipswich fan and been very, very courteous. Had a laugh. Took a bit of stick off me as well. And took it on the chin. Took it as banter. Didn't take it personally. And he stuck around while his team's 6-0 down, mate. So big up to you, mate. I did the same with you as well, Seth Ella. A Leicester fan who became a fan not too long ago as well. And you tuned in for the Leicester game as well. So buzzing. Church, mate. Come on, Church. yeah, Germ, I'm just gutted, mate. I'm gutted about the whole Kyle Walker thing. I still am gonna talk about it. I think I'm gonna make a video about Kyle Walker. You know, I feel like it's harsh, the treatment that he's received. He's been crap the last 6 months. He has, and I think he will say that. I think he would admit that he's been poor this season. I just feel like it doesn't eradicate everything he's done for us. The guy was a beast, you know. And it's not like it wasn't like a spell, like a little. There you go, Jeremy Doku, Church, mate. No, we're all right, Church. Like, look at us now wanting. Come on, Ipswich, fucking Church is gonna get fucked here if it's 7-0. Supporting Ipswich just for the sake of Church to keep it at 6-0. But yeah, I mean, I'm gutted. I'm gutted about the whole Walker situation. Anyway, I'm not gutted about today's performance because it's been emphatic from Manchester City. It really has. 6-0. Smashing it, mate. Smashing it. Yeah. I think he's a very different centre-back to some of what we've considered. I mean, what's your top 5 right-backs in Premier League history? He's certainly in that, isn't he? He's certainly in the top 5. You know, and I think you start, when you're getting into top 5s and things like that, it starts to become... Because I've always been a big fan of Ivanovic from Chelsea. I thought he was a beast. Like, he's just the full package, wasn't he, Ivanovic? He scored so many goals as well. Perfect fantasy football player. He was like the defender that was worth 7 million. He's like the Trent Alexander-Arnold today, but he could also defend. Do you know what I mean? He was a beast. But Ivanovic, I hate to say it, but I think Gary Neville was pretty good. You know, I mean, I think he was solid. His crossing ability was really good. I think most people would put Gary Neville in the top 5. If he stayed fit, Reece James would be an absolute beast as well. A beast. Lauren from Arsenal. I thought he was really good. Very good fullback. Really good. Hey, big up to you, City Luke. Good to see you, mate. Yes, mate. We are back. Thanks for the super chat, mate. Appreciate that. Redirect after this, everybody. Going to send you to Luke and his channel, City channel. Go and check him out. He's going to be talking about the game. After this game, it's going to be redirected straight to him. So go and show him some love. Drop a like on his stream and subscribe while you're there. Big up to you, mate. Is that right, Adrian? We don't play him till May. I watched United against Southampton the other day. They looked good. You know, everyone's like beating Southampton at the minute, but they looked good. You know, up until the 70th minute, Southampton were battering them. 3 minutes of injury time. That reminds me. Who remembers the Salford game? I mean, obviously you do. It was 8-0. But, I mean, the Salford game. The referee blew the whistle bang on 90 minutes. Okay? Now, I don't care about sympathy and being kind to the opposition or putting them out of their misery. Do you know what I mean? We scored 8 goals. How is there no stoppage time? You just put them out of the misery. Like, as soon as it was 90 minutes, right, don't let City get a 9th. You know, blow the whistle straight away. Ball back post. Oh, it was McAtee with another header looking to try and get his 2nd of the game. A bit too much waz on it from Gundogan this time, but McAtee couldn't grow big enough, unfortunately. But why did they blow the whistle against Salford like that? I thought that was some shit officiating. Breaking the rules, to be honest. Great question, Adrian. I don't know. Man of the match. I think Foden's up there. Rules are rules, Church, as we keep getting told about the 115 charges. But yeah, man of the match, Adrian. I think Foden's in the debate as well, obviously bagging 2. I think Doku was very good, though. It's tough, and I'm loving the fact that I'm struggling. That's such a good sign. You know what I mean? Such a good sign. that we're actually like, I'm not sure. Kovacic was brilliant. Foden was brilliant. Doku was brilliant. I tell you what, I thought Gundogan was really good. I think Gundogan's had a really good game, and I feel like it's for someone who's had a lot of shit this season from City fans, he's done absolutely nothing wrong. He's been brilliant, actually, I would like to say. Ilkay Gundogan. So well played, Ilkay Gundogan. I probably wouldn't give him man of the match. But still, good to see Gundogan back to something close to what we recognise as Ilkay Gundogan. But yeah, I'd probably edge it towards Doku, probably. But yeah, McAtee coming on, bagging a goal. Ruben Diaz, Gvardiol and Akanji have been solid at the back. I think Nunes has been a bit shaky, but not bad. It's just been a bit... Oh, no way. Back post. Is it going to be a corner? No, it's a goal kick. And there you go, Church. That should bag you the prediction. You're a genius, Church. Do you know what I mean? A broken clock comes to mind. To be honest, mate. A broken clock is right every 24 hours. But there you go, mate. You keep predicting 6-0. It was going to happen. You are never wrong. Never. Also, yeah, Dubai, yeah. 10, like, so many substitutes came on in like 3 minutes. It seems like putting oppositions out of their misery. And they're going to do it now with the full-time whistle about to be blown. And that is that. Full time. Manchester City have dispatched Ipswich 6-0. Pretty emphatic result from Manchester City, considering the little blip in what was a rectified moment for City. The last 3 games prior to the Brentford game became the test. Are we back? Was the test. And I felt like a 2-0 up, you're thinking, yes, we're back. We're about to win 4 in a row against Brentford. But we blew it against Brentford. And that last 10 minutes is still stings a little bit against Brentford. But then you back it up with this just to show that you really... I feel like we are now. I feel like we are not back to the best, but back to... I think we're going to start collecting points. I think we're going to start winning 2 out of every 3 games, which should see us finish in the top 4. I really do believe that. And as long as you're not losing the other one, you know what I mean? I really believe that as well. But yeah, buzzing. Oh yeah, 12 hours. Fucking hell. A broken clock's right every 12 hours. You're absolutely right. Unless it's digital. Have some of that. Or is that right as well? Yeah, no, digital. 24-hour clock, yeah. But yeah. Buzzing, mate. Absolutely buzzing. Clara, I appreciate you asking. Yeah, I'm so frustrated at the amount of content I've been able to make lately. It's not been good, but I've got a house viewing tomorrow. I've got to go and view a house that we're trying to, well, maybe buying, maybe not buying, because I'm eventually going to move house soon, but it's got to take priority, unfortunately. And then eventually, one day, you're going to click onto a typical City video and there's going to be some strange background behind me that isn't this room. Don't know when that'll be. I'll give you plenty of warning. But yeah, it's going to happen eventually. And because of that, I've got to put... Some days have to be no videos, unfortunately. But yeah, please, who's man of the match? I'm going to give it Doku. I think his overall contribution to the game was really, really good. And it wasn't just assists. It wasn't the fact that he scored or the fact that he got assists. And he got... What did he get? He got a Haaland assist and he bagged as well. He made it 4, didn't he? But yeah, he was brilliant. He was really, really good. He was lethal. You know, every time he tried to beat the fullback, he did. You know, they could not live with him. And he went over to the right side for the final 20 minutes of the game. And he was running Leif Davis ragged as well during the final 20 minutes of the game as well. So he was consistent throughout the game as well. And it would be nice to... The options now, you know, you've got Savinho. And I mean, there was a guy asking for Savinho, and I backed you up as well. Why wasn't Savinho starting? Because I feel like he's in a bit of good form at the minute, Savinho. Really, really good. But you drop Savinho, you bring in Doku, and there's no difference in quality. Doku's absolutely delivered emphatically. And now it's like, well, headaches now, isn't it? It's headaches for Pep Guardiola. Who are you playing? Because you got Phil Foden, who played on the right, although he inverted to allow Nunes on the overlap. But still, you know, Phil Foden banging in goals. Scored 2 against Brentford prior to this game as well. You got Doku scoring goals. You got Savinho who's finding the back of the net a little bit more frequently and getting assists as well. Got his first against Leicester the other week. Good. It's great to have these options. You're throwing in Omar Mamouche now. Kevin De Bruyne. Well, yeah, beyond the cosmos as well. That's Kevin De Bruyne's got to be in the debate. It's a typical Kevin De Bruyne performance for me. It was summed up for me. I thought it was like, his overall contribution was like good. You know, I don't want to get excited, but then he just turns up with like vital moments and gets 3 assists. He is like the ultimate like G and A guy, mainly A, but he is a proper output guy, isn't he? Because I think he's kind of like Haaland, where he's like he can not drift. I think De Bruyne can be sloppy. I don't think he's as short. You think of David Silva, you know, that type of player just doesn't give it away. De Bruyne gives the ball away a lot. He gives it away a lot, but when it works, it destroys defences. It rips them apart. And I think De Bruyne had one of those games today. In that first 20 minutes of the first half, De Bruyne gave it away about 4 or 5 times. Really sloppy from De Bruyne, but then he bags himself an assist and he goes and gets 2 more on top of the 3 as well. So yeah, Doku for me just about edges it as man of the match, just because I felt like the overall contribution. But yeah, Nans, Kovac, yeah, really good. Really, really good. Kovacic is so important to this side at the minute. Considering, obviously, we all know the Rodri problem, but the hopeful imminent arrival of whether it's Douglas Luiz or another player that fits that profile that can fill the void that we have in defensive midfield. Because I still don't believe that Kovacic is an out and out defensive midfielder. He's not. He's playing in that position because that's all we've got. But he's the shirt number. He's what he wears on the back of his shirt. He's an 8. I thought he was really, really good today. I thought he was solid. I thought he was really good against Brentford as well. Even though we drew the game and we dropped silly points, I don't think it was a coincidence that we dropped those points once he'd left the pitch. You know, he was playing well. He was looking after things and putting in a good performance. He comes off the pitch and we concede 2 goals. You know, today he comes off the pitch, we're 6-0 up. So there was no need to worry, but he actually came off for a player that could do that job. I think Nico O'Reilly's a little bit more built to be a defensive midfielder, or at least do that job, more so than Gundogan. And Gundogan, I thought he was really good today. I thought he played very, very well. I only think Núñez was the only player that looked shaky, and I don't think it was terrible from Núñez either. I thought he was contributing positively on occasions. I just think he's got to chill a little bit when he comes into that tackle. You know, because he sprints at the player aggressively. And that's cool, man. You just got to stop when you get there. You know what I mean? Don't fly into him and just wipe him out and give away free kicks. You know, I'm dubious about the one that he used his hand on Leif Davis, and I thought the booking was harsh. But a couple of times in that game as well, he was a bit too aggressive with his tackles and giving away free kicks. He's already done that this season. I still believe there's a future for Núñez, but it's looking less and less likely that he's going to have a long-term impact at Manchester City, considering the rumours that are going around with regards to the players that we're linked with in this January and also in the summer. You're wondering where the Núñez-shaped hole is going to be. Is there going to be a space for Matheus Núñez at Manchester City next season? I'm not sure there is, but I mean, I'd love to keep him as a squad player because he comes on and he does the job and he gives 100%. His attitude in the last year has been brilliant because he's not played at all last year, barely at all. But when he came on, it was always 100%. Never once have I wanted to question Matheus Núñez's attitude. You know, you don't hear anything like, I want to leave the club, I'm not getting enough game time, you know, and he hasn't had enough game time to even fairly judge him. This season, a lot more. This season, I think we're getting into that area now where we can judge Matheus Núñez a little bit more fairly because he is playing football for City. So I do think that there's going to be a realistic judgment now in the summer. And it's going to be interesting if he's going to be in the squad next season. Again, someone who's in the peak of their career, we could cash in, you know, on Núñez as well. I think we could get 35. What did we pay for him? We paid for like 45 million. But that was also including the Tommy Doyle going the other way deal, wasn't it, to Wolves? When Tommy Doyle went to Wolves, that was kind of part of the deal. They were actually separate deals, but they kind of weren't. Read between the lines. Tommy Doyle went that way at the same time Núñez went the other way. So even though they weren't a direct part of the deal, the paperwork was separate, but they were effectively part of the deal. And the reason why Wolves got Tommy Doyle so cheap, because I think they paid $5 million for him, which, again, that's part of the deal. I think if we wanted Mateus Nunes without Tommy Doyle, I think we'd have been looking at 55, 60 million at that point. I think that's what City would have had to have paid, which is why Tommy Doyle was included. Maybe closer to 50 rather than 60. But still, you know, he's only 1 year on from that. He's still in his mid-20s. And even if he doesn't make it at Manchester City, I think we could cash in on him somewhere. And again, net spend, starts using that money to improve in positions of the pitch where we genuinely need to improve. And there's plenty of them. There's plenty of those positions. But yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, buzzing, mate. 6-0. Summed up perfectly. Summed up perfectly by Timmy. Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely buzzing. 6-0. Sensational. Sensational. Blues. Thank you very much for tuning in to Typical City today. And my stomach survived. I'm really glad I didn't end up needing to sprint off because I really thought I was going to. I feel like I need to now. But yeah, my stomach survived. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. And for the 500 likes as well. Massively appreciate that. Love to you all. Here we go. City are back. Let's hope we continue this run into a very difficult run of fixtures now, because now we really are going to get tested with PSG. Come and tune in on Wednesday night for that one. I will be doing a watch along, as well as next Saturday night, Chelsea at home. 2 massive games that you'll have a big say on Manchester City's season. Yep, good to see James McAtee as well, bagging himself another goal for Manchester City after getting his hat-trick against Salford. Really good to see. Really good. You're more than welcome, Scully. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Big up to all of you. Thank you very much. You're going to be redirected to City Loop TV. Make sure you drop a like on the stream and drop him a sub as well. Massively helps the channel grow for him, because he's only just, well, he's in his first season, so he's giving it a go on YouTube. And he's doing all right. He's on his journey to, I think he's got 1.5k now, I think he has. I can't remember. I think that's what his journey was. But he's on his way to 1.5 thousand subscribers, so help him get there if you can. That'd be really kind. Help the City fan community. One big happy family. Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. 6-0. Take care, Blues. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next one.